Welcome to the Hardcore Craftlocked Challenge, Episode 4, where we are trying to answer the question, can you beat Guild Wars 2's classic campaign without dying with only crafted gear? This is Trust Issues. Trust is a goblin who is convinced that anything not made by him is absolute trash. Either he makes it or he breaks it. Last time we worked on map completion in Kessex Hills and farming up as much money and materials as we could obtain. We decided to head into town to see what we could do with what we've gathered. I'm prioritizing leatherworking. My logic is that Huntsman speeds up fights, but leatherworking helps me avoid dying to one-shots. I pick up a few ingredients I'm missing, like bone chips off of the trading post, and get to work turning our materials into leatherworking skill, making various bits of equipment I don't need just for the skill ups, then salvaging them to get some materials back. I reached level 75, which allows us to start using thin leather, wool, and iron, so we've broken into a new tier of materials. I refine a lot of these to get the easy skill ups, and then take the chance to upgrade our backpack by combining our existing backpack with some of these new materials, giving it a nice jump in item level. I then see I can make a larger bag and buy a minor rune of holding and craft a 10-slot bag replacing our 8-slot one. I put the 8-slot bag in the bank for Sis in case she needs it. Using the thin leather, we make a new coat, pants, and shoulder pads. This gets us to skill level 100 and unlocking new insignias which will make higher level gear. I go to the trading post to pick up a small stack of scales which I was missing. We use these to craft level 30 boots, mask, and gloves. At this point, I run out of leather, so I buy a partial stack from the trading post. I use this, another minor rune of holding, and some dust to make a 10-slot invisible bag, replacing my 8-slot one. Again, I put the 8-slot one in the bank to pass it over to Sis. We then craft new insignias and replace the chest, leggings, and shoulder pads I just made a moment ago, bringing our full set of armor from around level 20 up to level 30, and I gotta say, Trust is looking good. I need more wool to continue and head back to the trading post too, and there goes my raptor. The 10-hour free-to-play mount trial is up. However, I do notice another bugged graphic and report it to ArenaNet. Q&A Mukluk, away! I go pick up my wool on foot and bring it back to the leather station. We use this to make a few more items of the same tier as what I just equipped, just to push us over 125 skill level and unlock the next tier. We get another 50 scales and wood from the TP and make some of the new skill level 125 insignias to make higher level gear. I put together a new level 35 coat, pants, gloves, shoulders, and mask. At this point I pause because I'm using a lot of cash and resources on Leatherworker and I consider stopping to work on Huntsman, but then decide I'd rather be as tanky as possible because none of the fights in my future have time limits and I'll work on my damage later. So I continue working on Leatherworking. I'm a few points away from 150, so I purchase some more materials to make items for skill, pushing us over 150. This lets me work with coarse leather, steel, and cotton. The steel requires coal, so I start checking nearby merchants for some. I find some near the armorsmith station and pick up 50. Then head back and combine it with my remaining iron to make steel. This also lets us upgrade our backpack to the next tier, giving it another nice increase to its stats. This tier also unlocks 12-slot bags, so I get another rune of holding and craft one such 12-slot bag and put the 10-slotter in the bank. At this point, I'm at skill 171, and new recipes are at 175, so I make a few pieces of gear purely for skill to push us over. I have to buy some more cotton to do this. Someone in chat asked if I have any laurels to use to buy materials and find one. I have a laurel. I might use this later. I spend half my remaining money on scales to try and make one last set of gear for this crafting session. I make 5 hearty cotton insignias. I craft boots, mask, and shoulders. Absolutely not a fan of the mask fashion, might burn one of my old transmutation shards to change that. I then make a coat and pants with the remaining materials, giving me 5 pieces of level 45 armor and level 40 gloves. We then swap over and visit time issues to see if we can do anything with Jewelcrafting. Looking through the gems I have, I find that I cannot do any more discoveries with these materials. I buy some malachite to crank out some items for skill to get to the next threshold. I spend some hero points on her to get Signet of the Locust for a bonus to run speed, then am pleasantly surprised to see she still has her raptor mount. Oh my god, her mount didn't expire. Oh, it's a separate countdown per character. Apparently the 10-hour timer is character specific, not a count. I make a bunch of malachite copper studs to push over skill 50, unlocking some new recipes. Oh my god. I craft a filigree and adorn a jewel, and combine a chain setting and gemstone to make our first necklace. I then combine filigrees with more gems for the Discovery XP, pushing us over skill 75. I'm then able to process all of the silver ore I have obtained so far into bars for easy experience. Afterwards, we upgrade her jeweler's backpack to the next level, which, while worth it for the XP, made it too high a level for her to wear, so it's in the bag for now. Oh my god, she's not high enough level to wear it. Make a bunch of silver bands and settings and begin combining them with gems to make some new silver rings. Swap back to trust issues and equip everything. This got him to level 20 necklace, which was previously an empty slot, 2 level 25 rings, and 2 level 20 accessories, giving us a small increase to stats. I then use one of my 3 transmutation charges on his headgear, because I am quite simply not a fan. At some point recently, we unlocked a second specialization slot. I look over the options for what is available, and since my entire strategy is essentially to outlive the enemy, I decide to go with Wilderness Survival, which, as its name implies, has many traits related to helping you stay alive. For traits, I take the Grandmaster option that makes survival skills remove conditions, which is a bonus to Troll Ungwin to our heal of choice. I take Lesser Muddy Terrain, which makes a slowing field around me when I use my healing skill, decent for getting foes off of me. And lastly, Survival Instincts, which increases my outgoing damage and reduces my incoming damage with further bonuses based on my health percentage. At this point, I head back to Kessex Hills with the goal of finishing the map completion while still gathering everything I can for more materials. With no raptor, we're on foot from now on, so the Signet of the Hunt is very helpful for its bonus movement speed. We jump into the lake and start cleaning up debris to help the nearby quaggons. Sell a few more trick-or-treat bags. It isn't much, but these have been an unexpected bonus for doing this challenge in October. I'm then given air purifiers of all things and run around cleaning up clouds of deadly gas and taking out bandits who are trying to take advantage of the chaos. I give Skittles some time to stretch his legs, but am still shocked at the damage difference between Jeff Bezos' the bear trait and literally anything else so far. I then almost run into a champion Black Widow spider. It clearly completed the Guild Wars 1 Hall of Monuments, and I proceeded to nope out of there. Oh my god, no. No. I am not ready for another champion experience just yet after the last one. I climb up a hill and spar with a frog and his pet gun for a hero point. Very American, I respect it. My exploring takes me to a farm with a pest issue. Apparently no humans have developed pesticide, as they seem to have this issue at literally every farm. I take out a bunch of worms and mosquitoes and clear my way through a human mine to get to the local vista. I check the heart vendor for anything useful, but nothing catches my eye. I gather a toxic spore, and chat says it's worth some coin to sell it on the trading post, but I find that this is not allowed in free-to-play, so into the mat storage it goes. Then Time on Tim asks for my referral link for purchasing Visions of Eternity. You're a legend, Tim. I finally meet up with the Order of Whispers agent in Kessex Hills to try and find Professor Gorr. We dress up as protesters and start making a racket outside the enemy base to get their attention. The guards flood in to stop us, and we take a few down but get swarmed. They knock us out. We awake inside a prison cell with Professor Gorr. All part of the plan? Agent Batanga picks the lock with her sonic screwdriver, and I then realize I still have the picket sign from outside. I proceed to roleplay a banner warrior for a few minutes as we beat our way out. After deactivating the security gate, we get Gorr outside and he waypoints back to Radisum. I see a nearby vista I don't have and climb up the hill through some Etten caves to reach it. I also get a bunch of strawberries while there who apparently know about the edge. I find a giant named Gort and a box that says Gort's treasure. Since he clearly wrote his name on it, it is probably his lunch, and I would be the worst co-worker if I were to take it after seeing his name, so we move on. Take out some more centaurs to finish a heart and check the vendor for anything useful. Grabbed another discounted logging axe and move on. Find a Sylvari Magic the Gathering tournament and take a bucket of water to them. Stinky. One chatter points out that Trust Issues and his pet look nearly the same. He is banned. I like how the ranger and the pet nearly look the same. Yo, what? I should ban you for that. While cleaning up my bags, I find a box of poultry meat that sells for a staggering 43 silver each, altogether netting me over 2 gold. This is huge, considering my current funds are 38 silver total. I make a mental note to take down any moas we pass going forward. For some reason, my pet keeps swapping when I don't want it to. Maybe Skittles is getting antsy or there is a bug when I go in and out of the water. But I set OP Jeff Bezos as the primary with Skittles as emergency backup to fix this. Hunt some centaurs, hunt some golems, and find a cave with a place of power nesting us another hero point. We head back to Radasum and regroup with our allies. For this one, we need to help the Vigil or the Priory support Gorr's research. I choose Vigil as they are more straightforward and typically just want to go hit something. We next need to travel pretty far for our story, so I take the portal to Lion's Arch, then head north into Gendaran Fields. I head west along the southern wall, opening up the map and grabbing everything I pass by. At one point, I tried to use Greatsword 3 to travel and auto-locked onto a nearby NPC, and immediately went into the settings to disable auto-targeting. I took out a bunch of undead on the way to the southwestern fort, finishing the local heart. We then find and tame a brown bear. Since it is in the bear family, it has the same stats as Jeff Bezos, but with a different activatable ability. Instead of the poison clown that was a DPS loss, this one has Shake It Off, removing conditions from it and any friendlies near it. So I decide to use this one and name it Barbarian. For its first job, we threw it at a champion mob some other folks were fighting and get some nice loot. I then enter the field test story and begin helping the Vigil guard the professor while he begins scanning the undead for how much magic is in the area. Apparently his scanning device operates on pure epilepsy because it nearly gives me a seizure. Why is he trying to give us a seizure? Once the seizure machine was operating at full capacity, it aggroed a lot of nearby undead, which we took out and got the readings he needed. We struck a victory pose with Gorr and headed out. Mission completed successfully. Continued mapping out Gendaran Fields and found a Trebucket that was immune to bears, so it took me a while to tear it down. Oh, interesting. There's no pet pathing. Barbarian can't attack this. I'll have to do it by myself. Defeated some centaurs in a cave and made our way to the Bloodfields where we helped wounded soldiers by delivering medkits. We helped in an event to defend the nearby city and map it out while we are here, getting the points of interest and the vistas. We find a massive centaur camp and carve our way through it, and find the local heart vendor hiding in a bush. Taking the chance to sell any junk we're carrying and clean up our bags, we join them in the sneaky bush and make camp for the day. It looks like the poultry meat's sold, so we have a little bit of money to look forward to next time in Craftlocked.